Football Power Hour. Gets the penalty. Curling it, and maybe just winning it again for Manchester United. Garnacho! He's outstanding!
Yo, people, what's happening? It is I, Vegeta. I am back, people, for another edition of the Happy Hour, guys. I don't have any bombs to press. I've got no celebrity, nothing, just me and my voice, people. But shout out to everybody who hopefully will catch this. I know it's a bit earlier, guys, but unfortunately, Bots couldn't run the Happy Hour today, so he asked me to do it. And because I've got a long Saturday, I told him, look, if we're gonna have happy hour, it's gonna have to be a little bit earlier, bro. I don't know what that means for the people in the states because I know he's got fans in the states. Hopefully it works for some of the people in the UK and obviously the people in the Pacific people. But anyway, enough of my waffling. Welcome to Happy Hour number 125. And I hope you guys are having a good Friday, obviously. Um, I'm not. I'm not having a good Friday. Um, you know, the last few months has taught me, or has reminded me rather, that just how short life is and how important it is for us to enjoy each day, each minute, each hour responsibly, make memories, try, you know, whatever it is you're not doing that you want to do, just try. And if you don't succeed, it's okay. You just try. You try again until you get it right. Um, and waking up in the middle of the night to find a message from your dad to telling you that your grandmother's passed away. Hey, it's a sobering thing. I don't even know how I managed to get back to sleep. Because it was in the middle of the night when I got that message, and I was like, huh. And at the same time, it's like a part of you was expecting it because my grandmother was sick. She's very old, but at the same time, it's like you always hope that the people you love will always get better, irrespective of how sick they are. But some things are beyond us and are in the will of God, and it's okay. It's tough, but like I said, guys, we try, we enjoy, and we honor their memories. That's it. But anyway, guys, that's enough with the doom and gloom. That's me checking in. How are you guys doing? Where are you right now? I see 5 people are watching. Please, guys, as you are coming in, just if you can do me a favor, just like, subscribe if you're new, share the video. Usually, when we come on to our streams, whether it's on my channel, on the Football Power Hour channel, it's always serious, sometimes reckless, but it's like it's business. We're talking about football, which is ironic because I've got a football background. But the happy hour, I should say rather, is an opportunity for us to just slow it down, take stock of where we are, and just have a good time. And I think we can do that. When was the last time you switched onto YouTube and we were just having honest conversations, reminiscing, enjoying Friday? We finally made it. They say Wednesday's hump day. We got over the hump and here we are here. And unfortunately, weekends for one reason or another too short. You're gonna wake up, it's Monday. So we have to try to the very best to enjoy. Guys, I am on a drinking hiatus right now, but please, if you're not me, go grab a drink. Whatever it is, whatever's your poison. If it's water, go get your water. If it's Henny and Coke, go get your Henny and Coke. Maybe you're just a Corona person, go get your Corona. Um, just go whatever gets you into the right mood for a Friday. Go and get that, people. The last time I hosted Football Power Hour, we looked at childhood dreams that we were able to realize as adults. And I really enjoyed that conversation. I didn't think it would go as far as it did because for the most part, full disclosure, whether it's this show or it's the transfer news shows that I'm running for bots when he's not in, it's all from here. No script. I'm just speaking. Um, but the interaction with you guys also helps, obviously. That's why I love the comment section, people. So if you're coming in, you comment. I don't care what it is. We laugh, you banter me. I laugh at it. Don't take it personally. This is the internet. Um, More so on a Friday, because like I said, today there's no formalities. If anything, I use the happy hour as an opportunity for the community to get to know me better, get to know you guys better. And I think it's cool. I was saying to read the other day, it feels like I've known them and some of you guys in the community for years. And yet the only interaction we've had is like literally here on the interwebs. Um, and I know I said we're not going to get into any football, people, but you know, life will come at you fast. Pause. Things change very quickly in life, eh? Because when did this window open? In June, I want to say because we had the Club World Cup thing. Yeah. And for all of those people who haven't guessed it, I'm obviously a Man United supporter. We signed Mateus Cunha, and we were like, yes. And then I think it was like the 1 week window, and then nothing happened. And then the World Cup thing happened. Then the window reopened. Nothing. Dololo. Absolutely nothing. And then people were like, no, okay, it's fine. Maybe the people were trying to sign are playing at the World Cup. As United fans, it's like, this is us every year. It's like this. It's never a gradual, it's like this with Man United. Happiness, 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 calm, calm, stress. Happiness, 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 calm, stress. Like, the fact that we don't have heart attacks as a fan base is actually a miracle that needs to be studied in the science lab. But anyway, that doesn't happen. We go from Ineos, okay, we see you, we see you. Some people, most people, Ineos fraud watch, whatever, whatever, whatever. And I used to ask people, I'm like, Ineos has only been here technically. What is this? The second summer, because they signed people for Ten Hag last year. Now they're signing people for Ruben. And I said, when we look at the first transfer window, were we dissatisfied? And that was their first one. But besides that, even with the first one, I said to people, guys, you realize that they've got two jobs with the transfer windows in yours, technically. They have to rebuild the squad, whether it's for Ruben, for ex-manager, put your manager, put them here, whatever that manager is. They have to sign for that for the team, basically. But on top of that, they have to counter when Sir Alex left us. But technically, these people have been doing nonsense from before that. It's just that Fergie is Fergie, right? And I said, guys, the second part of it is not going to be easy. But Ineos is the same as Glazers. Okay, the same thing. The same people who are reducing wage budget, is the same people who are backing a manager and not taking the player sides, but it's the same apparently. So people are happy with what is happening, but they will refuse to be happy with the people doing it. It's weird. It's weird to me. And look, I'm not trying to gas up the Ineos dudes because I was feeling Qatari, but at the same time, you have to take a step back and just stop stressing yourself, man, and ask yourself, do I like the direction we're heading in? And for the most part, it seems like people are happy, but still, if it's good things, it can never be Ineos because they kept the Scrooges here. Just food for thought, just because look now, Boems, boom, Cunha, boom. All of a sudden, people are choosing us even though we don't have Champions League football. These people are working, guys. I just like it's happening exactly like how I said it's gonna happen. It's gonna be difficult because they're going to have to unravel nonsense. But before I carry on rambling, shout out to Doctor first of all. Doctor, if I don't get to speak to you tomorrow, I'll probably do it in the group. Uh Happy birthday, Doctor, in advance. God bless you. I pray you enjoy your day. I pray you get cake. I don't know, maybe if you're on a diet, just for tomorrow, no diet, please, doctor. And even if you are trying to meet goals, spoil yourself, sis. Have a good one. Don't have to tell us your age. Nah, it's fine. Have your birthday. Enjoy it. And we are so, you know what? We are better for knowing you in this community. Yeah. So thank you very much, doctor, for blessing us. You go enjoy your rest. Save it for tomorrow. Get. I don't know what they're doing for you, and if nobody does for you, it's okay. You can still celebrate your own life. It's a gift, and enjoy every minute of it. Doctor still volunteered the information. Cool. Thanks, doc. If doctor knew how young I was, hey. My kids make me older than I actually am, to be honest. Like some people fluctuate between late teens to early 30s, and nobody really gets it right. But it's in that ballpark. Let's leave it there. Like, even when I reach 30 eventually, I don't think people will still think I'm there. But anyway, daughter, enjoy your day, please, man. Guys, I see there's 7 of us. I don't even know where the likes are right now. But please participate. Otherwise, you're just gonna be listening to me talk nonsense. Also, um, I was gonna bring back the transfer game because for today, like I said, yeah, I'm filling in for bots, but between my friends coming over to see me tomorrow and preparing for a funeral, I don't have the normal energy to be here. As much as me and my grandmother were not like close, you know, she was in my life and I loved her, and she did so much for me, and I appreciated her. Um, so yeah, I'm not in the right headspace, but I'd never not have bots back. That's why I'm here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, doc. I'm young. I'm young. And that's why technically giving away my age now. I'm a I'm a United fan that remembers when did Jose Mourinho come to Chelsea again? When Roman bought the club. That's the period where my memory of Man United is from. So I don't really hold on to the early 2000s, the treble, because I didn't get to watch, like, when the treble happened. I don't even think I've got memories from that time. I was that young. So I go, okay, I appreciate that it's a part of our club's history, but I don't, when I'm talking about football debates, and that, thank you, Sir Alex. Sir Alex did so much for this club that even at the ripe young age I am, I still have fantastic memories of this club. I feel so sorry for people who came after 2013. It's a, yeah, shame. Yo, hey, you are suffering without knowing even what success feels like. Um, so even at my young age, I still have something I can debate with people on. I don't, I tend to not lean on our history as much. I lean on what I know, basically, is what I'm saying with Man United. Thank you, Javid. I really appreciate it, man. It's very difficult. Actually, what the difficult part for it is the emotion side of it. Because I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. You know, I don't know if I'm supposed to cry. I don't know how to be there for my dad because it's his mom. And personally, I know when I lost my mom, which is ironically his wife or was his wife. because obviously our mothers carry us, right? So even when I lost my mom, my brain couldn't comprehend it. It almost felt like I was living in a movie, because you know when you're watching movies and people pass away, a part of you knows that it's just acting, so the person is still alive in real life. So there's a part of you that thinks, okay, be. And I think for me, and this is, I guess my dad is fortunate that his mom got to live, my grandmother, obviously, got to live as long as she did, because the parts that I'm struggling with now is being a young adult male, and there are things that my mom was more of my friend than my dad was. Like I always went to my dad for like guidance and advice, and to confide in him in some of my plans for me, or in this case now my family. That's where my dad fit in. But my mom always was the person I turned to for emotional support, right? In terms of when I got engaged to my wife, she already knew about my wife. I was dating or courting my wife. She met my wife. She vetted her out. Um, any relationship stuff that I was struggling with as a young male, I went to my mom. I didn't go to my dad. It was awkward to talk to my dad. And my mom passed away right after I got married, just before my first born child was born. So my mom knew she was gonna be a grandma, but she didn't get to meet my daughter. So that was also the difficult thing to say. She didn't get to meet my child. She didn't get to enjoy the fruits of raising me, essentially. And then obviously marriage is tough. It's not easy. There are times where I'm like, and this is, I guess, a time of vulnerability here. So don't judge me, community. But there's been times where, as a grown man, you wanna cry, right? Because the burden of you actually tend to appreciate the male figures in your life, because you come to understand some of the things that's on their shoulders. Now, no shade to women. I'm not saying you guys don't have burdens, but to a degree, my wife can cry to me. She cries. My kids cry to me. But as a grown man, the only person I had to cry to was my mom, and then that was removed. Um, and I'm trying, I guess, to a degree, to have that relationship with my mother-in-law. But anyway, going back to my dad, when he tells me this, I'm like, damn, like you knew it was coming, but it still doesn't prepare you. And I think right now he's in just autopilot. We need to. And African dads, man. You worry because it's like you're a human being. You must feel something, but it just doesn't show. And because I didn't have that emotional relationship with my dad, it's kind of like I don't know how to be there for you except for just being the son I've always been and just following your direction and your lead. And yeah, I guess that's where I am. That's what I'm saying. It's a happy Friday for the most part, but it's bitter. It's bitter. It's bittersweet. But now rest in peace to grandma. Very, very strong, powerful woman. Like I said, done a lot for us, for our family. Uh ah, a lot of people uh are grieving. Let me put it that way. She's touched a lot of people. But anyway, what can we say? Javed says, happy birthday, Doc. Have a blast. Absolutely. Absolutely. Faith, sending you and your loved ones condolences. I appreciate it, Faith. I appreciate it. Happy birthday in advance, Dr. Asna. Damn. It's a new season, and condolences. Thanks, doctor. I appreciate it. To a degree, though, I think the one thing I appreciate about the generation after our parents, we are trying. This wholly not being emotional thing. I get stoicism has its place. Yeah. But it shouldn't be to the detriment of your mental well-being and the destruction of people around you. Now, I'm not saying that men must just give themselves over to their emotions. I think there is a level of stoicism you still need. Um, but nah, I think I connect with my kids in a different way that I didn't get to do with my dad. Um, and it shows because, like, I know there's the whole daddy's girl thing, but like, it's actually so weird how me and my son actually we like connect, beyond the brotherly bond between males. He's almost like the same way in a different way that I feel with my daughter, and he gets so excited. He shows his emotions with me. When he cries, he comes to daddy. Oh, daddy. Oh, and I'm like, Lord, I'm just gonna enjoy every moment of this because when these little babies grow up, I'm not gonna get the hugs, the kisses as much. If I do, then thank God. Yeah, man. Thanks for not judging. We listen and we do not judge on this channel. Um, let's see more. Also, I heard somewhere that the person you marry should be able to hold you down not only in the good times but the bad times, and the lowest times in your life. No, that's very true, doctor. Not to offend anybody, I believe in the God of the Bible, like the Jewish God. That's who I believe in because I believe in Christ. And at the time when mom passed, I was like, it's actually pretty ironic how God preserved mom's life just until at least I married this specific woman, because I swear, like, if it wasn't for my wife, I don't know how I survived that event in my life. Honestly, like, I physically needed her just to get through it. But anyway, no. Vibe with Lenny, you're absolutely right. But I think a part of the point I'm trying to make, Lenny, is I know some people, even it's Friday, I don't know why people are like this, Lenny. They will still be miserable. And I'm like, Chief, it's Friday. You're done dealing with your bosses. Laptops are done. Well, hopefully, laptops are closed. If you're still working, sorry for you. Your time is coming. You will clock out very soon. You will clock out. But just enjoy. There's so many good things in life. Travel, food, friends. Hey, life is for the living, and that's what that's what I'm trying to emphasize. That's all. That's it. That's where I was going with this, Lenny. Sorry. Like I said, with these, what you see with these Friday things, what's nice about this? This is an opportunity for us to just figuratively just let down our hair because we let Man United stress us way too often, bro. So sometimes you just need to just talk. We can even talk about, I don't know. Last week we were talking about, and was it anime when I was hosting? No, Harry Potter. I found out the doctor's a fellow Harry Potter fan. Shout out to you, doc, just like me. And that's cool stuff. We don't always have to talk about football, even though we are on the football channel. Although I think sometimes Bots forgets that this is not his reaction channel because then he'll bring reaction things to the Friday to the football thing, and we're like, how, Chief? Like, can we talk about the fact that Newcastle said no to Liverpool? 120 million, guys. See the pivot. Professional. Newcastle said no. Newcastle having an interesting window, guys. Because the thing that we were desperate for last season when we didn't win the Europa League, they have. And somehow they are not getting accepted. On top of that, their players are trying to leave them. These people have rich owners. And I'm sure these guys thought, they were convinced when they got the Saudi money, they were like, uh, yeah, we are within. But they forgot that teams like Man City broke the rules so much that football is saying thou shalt not pass. If Newcastle had gotten these owners earlier, but then again, we look at Todd Bowley and what he's doing. Do these people really want to help this club? Because Todd Bowley came in and said, okay, financial fair play, wara wara, loophole. That man opened the rule book and said, find me a loophole immediately. That's why, to a degree, I'm like, Man United, bruh, let's just spend money. Let's buy. I heard Donnaruma's name being thrown out there. Get Donnarumma. Get him. I heard the Brighton guy, Baleba, whatever his name is. We need a center midfield. Buy it. But we need to sell. We'll solve it. We'll solve it ahead of time. Just buy. Why are we playing by rules that other people are not playing by? I mean, how long have we been waiting for the 115 charges? The 115 charges even became 130, guys. They became 130 charges. These guys are still not charged. Nottingham Forest bought a whole starting 11 plus reserves, and all they got was points deducted, guys. But no, we're trying to balance books. Balance books for who, guys? Let's talk about this. Is PSR a thing or is it PSR not a thing? Because it seems to apply depending on who you are. And it feels like, to a degree, that if we broke those, if we had 115 charges, people, let me tell you today, those people would try to throw the book at us. Because here's the problem. I feel like the league hates us, but at the same time, you saw what happened when we played West Ham. To get rid of us, but we are the money makers technically. We bring viewership, we sell papers, we bring bums to seats. That's why even when we play the small cups, the smaller clubs want to get Man United because they're going to make a money. Even better if they get to play by us because they'll get more tickets because the stadium is bigger. So the league would try. So that's what I'm saying, Man United, just do it. Let's see what they're going to do. Sometimes when you see corruption and it doesn't get punished, you say, okay, that's interesting. And then it happens again. You have to question if the rules are truly there or if there's a certain mechanism or something that prevents some people from being impacted equally by the rules. Because if all it takes is to have lawyers that will just throw stuff at the Premier League people to prevent you from getting points deducted or from being, what do people say? People said City must get relegated. If it just takes lawyers, then one of the greatest things that Sir Jim can invest in is those City lawyers. Buy those guys and break some rules. How about that? If everyone is gonna, guys, people are talking about what do you call this? Liverpool and the money they are spending, right? They're like the Coutinho money, but guys, I don't care even if you don't sign for one season. One summer is not enough to go on a spending spree like this. I don't care. There's shadiness there. And one day we proven right when files come out to say Liverpool are being investigated for XYZ. I mean, look at Chelsea. Those guys had to go and snitch on themselves and say, hey, when the other guy was here, there were some irregularities. So when everybody else around us is busy attacking these rules, we are the ones who are just standing in line when there's nobody at the robot. Yeah? So us, we're the stupid ones, basically. Tea ladies are getting fired while people are looking for loopholes. Some things we need to question them, guys. Sorry, let me read. Comments. Javed says, behind a good man is a great woman. And we praise the Lord for that. Luan says very early. Yeah, no, Luan, look. Depending on how this conversation is going, I mean, we're gonna play the transfer market. What's my value? I'm gonna share my screen because I don't have callers for tonight, and then I'll share it in the chat. At least this one is not wrong. Answer for me. I didn't do Kahoot. You don't have to fight with me today, and then we will decide what us are together. And then if people are up for it, we can also play. I can also participate as the host, and then we'll see. But I definitely I couldn't do Kahoot today because one, short notice, two, I'm just scared of getting another wrong answer and then somebody wants to fight with me. But like we're early because I need to have an early night. As far as to me, midnight is early. Because tomorrow I have to get up and help my wife get this house ready and looking presentable for our guests. So it's an early one. Otherwise, you know me. I mean, I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch the Bournemouth game the other day. If it was up to me, guys, we would be here with vibe. With vibe. We would chill. Unfortunately, YouTube is boring because we can't even play music. I would have done a proper Kahoot, and then we could have enjoyed happy Friday hour. But you know what Bot said? It's better to have a happy hour and just reflect on the week than to have no happy hour. And I agree with him. And you know what? Shout out to my boy. He's showing more consistency, and I'm happy for him. Because when I heard earlier this year that he ended the streak, I was not happy. The streak can never end. People deserve happiness and joy, and happy hour is part of that. The Friday happy hour is a part of getting the weekend started on the right page. Just imagine I'm pushing the bomb. Now it happened. What are the comments saying? Hey Vegeta, what's up, Eddie? You know what? It's a fair question. I don't know. I am featuring here a lot more regularly than I expected. But you know what it is. Bot is my friend, man. You know, and I understand that life can get busy, and right now the channel has got some momentum. You know, and we don't want to let you guys down. You know, West comes to West, we record a pre-record, we send it out. But I think we enjoy engaging with you guys. So I will feature most often when Bots is not able to be here, or when I think there's an opportunity to cover a topic, especially when it's hot and the time zones are not time zoning for Bots. But you're right. You know that's why this exists. Where's this video? I hope we didn't delete it. I am taking over. That's why this exists. Just know, when I hear Bots talking nonsense, you will hear that theme song. When Bots is ending streams prematurely, you will hear that theme song. When him as the host is not doing his job, you will hear that theme. But also when he's absent and he's taking a leave of absence, because you know the sad thing about YouTube, let's say it becomes his job in the future, God bless him, and his channel grows. When do you take leave and what happens to the channel? That's why he needs us to be here. Or maybe he also wants to go on tour. Then let me be the Owen to his flex. We'll be here. Although I do want to travel and watch the guys play live one day myself. That's a dream for another day. Let's see what you guys are saying. Newcastle might just crumble and get relegated. Ooh, Doc. If that happens, the thing is, you know, we don't even have animosity with Newcastle. Newcastle are the ones that decided to say, because there's United in their name, they want to beef with us. Chief, we've got Arsenal, we've got Liverpool, and we've got Man City. These are serious rivals. Why are we rivaling you? Enjoy your rich people, enjoy your Champions League. But the way it's looking now, Doc, I'm not gonna lie, because I saw they apparently they lost Callum Wilson. Guys, me, I don't care about other teams and their business unless it impacts my team. But I heard that they already lost a forward player, and then now Isak is also doing nonsense. And then Benjamin Sheshko said, "Nah, bro, I'm going to United, my bruh." So imagine that they tried to. I believe they tried to get Cunha, nothing. They tried to get Mbwems, nothing. They tried to get Sheshko, nothing. Now Isak wants to leave. It's just it's becoming very embarrassing. Embarrassing. And I was watching this guy called the Irish guy. I'm sure you guys must have heard of him. And he did such a nice analysis of a Newcastle situation. Like he compared it to Tottenham. I think they had a similar thing going on 17 years ago. Berbatov was leaving. People they wanted to sign were saying no. It was bad. It was bad. Spurs survived at least. They didn't get relegated. But it almost seems like history is repeating itself through this team. It's funny. From the outside, it's funny, especially when they say they're real United. I'm like, bro, where was that? Where was the real United when we were winning 13 Premier Leagues? Were you the fake United? Were you? I don't want to even offend people, bro. These guys, foolish. Wait, who are Newcastle's rivals? They need to go talk to the actual rivals and leave us alone. We're not rivals. Eddie says transfer market value is getting too mad. People will focus on their own academy soon. You know what? Maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing if we're being honest, Eddie. Because in life, to a degree, sometimes you need a reset. You know, that's why if you look at human history, there are times that are good, and they become so good that we create bad people that then bring us into bad times. And because of those bad times, good people rise to then bring us back to the good times. So what I'm trying to say is maybe we've gone so far that the pendulum has to swing now in the opposite direction, and we have to start investing in academies, and even in scouting, because the market is more volatile in Europe and more specifically in England, because there's English tax plus Premier League tax in England or the UK, and then the European clubs take advantage of the fact that the Premier League clubs have their money from television, right? So maybe you're right in the sense that the pendulum has to swing and go back to grassroots now. And I think maybe that's where the fight is going to start being, where it's going to be a battle of who gets the talent before it becomes the talent. You know, I mean, look at how United is investing in the youth. You know, buying some of Arsenal's players. They're actually scouting young players to bring into the youth setup, and maybe it might be just to sell them, you know, do the Chelsea thing. Because I see us doing a lot of those things, which also, again, I'm like, guys, we can't keep saying we're the same when even the operations of Man United Football Club is not the same. You know, backing the manager, isolating players that are not on board with the project, investing in the youth setup properly, like proper investment in the youth setup, proper investment in the scouting department. There seems to be a plan. It doesn't seem like it's a type of a situation. It seems like, and maybe we won't get there, but it seems like pulling in a direction, and everything they're doing lends to that. I hope they'll also give the team the same care, you know, because that also forms part of Man United. It's not just about fixing us. I mean, we have to look at the women's team and figure out how do we topple teams like Chelsea and Arsenal to win the women's league. You know, how do we get to a point where we're winning? I don't follow the women's team, so guys, if we've done this before recently, I'm sorry, but I also care about them because anything underneath the Man United umbrella is good for us to see the youth succeeding, to see the first team succeeding, and also our women's team succeeding. It can never be a bad thing. We need to be firing and dominating on all fronts of football. Everything matters, and sometimes the women's team kind of falls to the side because all we care about is Bruno and Co doing well, Bruno and Co leaving. We forget that we've got this other team that also needs to be competing for its own league, for its own cups. Um, and you know, the nice thing about the women's game is that it's still in its infancy when you compare it to the men's one. So there's an opportunity for us to also build something of a dynasty like we did with the men's team. So we shouldn't neglect it. The women's side of it. So if the pendulum forces us to invest across the board, it can only be a good thing. And you know what? It's gonna be nice when we are celebrating across all fronts, because if we want to say we're the biggest club, I think doing stuff like that. I mean, it's nice to be the Premier League champions as the men, but when you can look to the women's team and say we're also the champions there, when you can look to the under 21s and 23s and say we're the champions there, that's dominance. And that's the kind of pressure we need to apply on the footballing world. And you know what I like about the period we're in now? It's suffering, it's painful, it's embarrassing, but it also offers us an opportunity to just operate. Forget what the opposition people are saying around us. Forget the banter. Let them banter, guys. I mean, we will do the same thing when we get to where we trying to go. But let them also make the mistake of underestimating us. And it is a mistake, because your enemies will capitalize on you when you think you are safe from them. In this case, that's us. When the footballing world thinks they're safe, and we slowly do what we need to do in the back, and we become successful, then it's going to be tears for them. That's why I'm just chilling. I'm like, yo, let's focus on what we're doing, because if we keep doing this thing of but us, yeah, we're never gonna fix home. Those guys are doing their thing. We must do our thing. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see. Doctor, are you still with us? I remember I said you were to bed. But if the conversation is interesting, stay here, doctor. It's okay. There's plenty of room for you here. Stay here. Then we can usher the birthday in for you and say happy birthday, doctor, on your actual birthday date, Blah, 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 blah. Happy hour on TikTok would be lit. People in the chat, would you actually watch happy hour on TikTok? Because if we were to set up something like that, right, I can talk to bots. There's so much more we can do on there, because they're not as stringent as on here. I mean, guys, we can literally play music on there. And if we grow, you know what? You must keep all your good ideas up here. But doctor, I see you. If you deserve shares, I'm not gonna forget. Yo, Liverpool, Newcastle. One day we just need to sit down and do a reaction to their reaction to what's going on, because if Liverpool people were bending shirts over Trent leaving, these ones must be pulling the hairs out of their heads with what's going on in their club. They need this happy hour more than us. We just had a good week. We beat West Ham, good performance. Bournemouth, good performance. Hopefully Everton, we're going to also deal with them very soon. Sunderland got relegated, didn't they? Sunderland. Oh no, they're in the Premier League. Yeah, then they must go beef with Sunderland. Why are they making their business with us? They must go compete for signings with Sunderland. Maybe, you know what? If they want to do rivals from other cities, go try Aston Villa, man. Like, wow, leave us alone. We are not rivals with you. Doctor saying I have to give props to Eddie Howe, though. Yeah, but you can only look. We can attest to this, though. You can only do so much at a club with your hands tied behind your back. You still need the people upstairs to back you up. You still need that. Shout out to Ryan. To wow. You see, I almost said your whole channel name. This is too long. It's too long. But shout out to you, bro. And I'm sure you probably enjoyed my spiel about the women's team because I believe it. We have to invest in that part of the game. Riley saying, um, Riley, is your name Riley or Ryan? I think that's what confused me now. Can you please clarify for me? Is it Riley or Ryan? Because like, swear down, your name is Riley, bro. But anyway, Riley says we are going for the ninth. You see what I'm talking about? Ninth WSL title. Man United, man. We can't allow this. Shout out to Stephanie who says Vegeta Power Hour. You know what, Riley? It's okay. Don't fear us. The day we sneak up that table as the women's team, you will have a reason. Stephanie, no. There hasn't been a quiz. I felt really bad for what I did to Luen that day. I robbed her of points, and unfortunately, I think I've done it before. I'm joking. It's very easy to get answers wrong in Kahoot, even when you're using AI. Apparently, so for today, which is probably what. Look at these segments. Like we're just flowing. Keep it flowing. We just us for today. We'll probably do depending on your interaction because guys, I'm alone for today. It's just me. Because me, I don't know none of these players. I'm just gonna put on easy, guys. Please, forgive me. We're going to play this, and then of course, guys, if you've never played this, basically how it works is you're going to be presented with two football players, and they're going to ask you which player costs more than the other one, basically. And we'll play, and hopefully it makes sense. Okay, I already chat. Like I said, I need you to participate, to engage. Otherwise, this now I just look like I'm playing this game by myself. Don't do this to me, guys. So I'm on one screen. So what I'll do is I'm gonna start the game and then I'm gonna switch over to here so I can see the chat. Or maybe I should open the chat on my phone. Maybe that's a plan. Maybe we do that. Let me actually open the chat here. So I'm gonna open the chat on my phone and then I'm gonna switch over to the game, and then we're going to answer together, guys. Okay, let's do it. Most valuable players in the world. All right. Wait, let me actually find the happy hour. 1 second. Hey, I was listening to myself talk now. Start game. Let's go. All righto. So, okay, I'm glad it actually put the question here so that you can understand what this game is. It says, does Mark Cucurella or Cucurella, I don't know how you say his name, have a higher or lower market value than Elliot Anderson? So, if we get this right, then we obviously get to move on to the next round. But if we get it wrong, the game stops and then we have to start over again. That's what I'm saying. We'll maybe play 1 or 2 rounds, guys. So, guys, in the chat, does Mark Cucurella have a higher or lower value than this? I think higher, based on the fact that it's Chelsea. Chelsea knows how to rob people. But these values are based on transfer market and where transfer market values those players. So far, I've got 2 that are saying higher. So Riley says higher. Lenny is saying lower. Guys, there's 6 of you, hey? So I just need the majority rules and then we move on. And while we are doing this, guys, please, if you haven't liked the video, please go back, like. And then if you see that the subscribe hasn't been clicked, just because you can't keep finding yourself back on the channel and then you're not going to subscribe. That maketh not the sense. You like the content, so subscribe. And then if you are subscribed and you want to be a super fan, guess what? Memberships. On the Football Power Hour, you can become a member. Now, I can't promise you that I know what that means, but I know that you're going to get some nice emojis. We've got a 0071 for the criminals who don't like. We've got drinking the Ops' tears, for the season. We've got Bots' face. Don't know why we put that there, but it's there. And then, of course, we've got the Golazo, 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 because that's Bots' favorite word whenever we are scoring goals against opposition teams. So those are your options, people. You can like, maybe it's the first time you're testing the waters. You can subscribe, or you can be a super fan and become a member. How about that? How about that? Okay, people, me, I'm gonna go with higher since only Riley, Lenny, and Stephanie have given me an answer, and it seems like majority rules here, so we're going with higher. That's close. It's close, guys. It's close. Now, obviously, the one thing I've also noticed with this game is that it will take the previous person and then put a new person. So now we're guessing, is this new contender power? Do they have a higher or do they have a lower value than Kukurea? Now, I'm probably going to say higher because this kid probably bloody has like a release clause. These Spanish teams and their 1 billion euro release clauses. But also, he's younger than Kukurea, so there's a resale value there. So I'm thinking higher. Ooh, now it's the other way around. Lenny is saying higher, so is Riley, and Stephanie says lower. Is there anybody who disagrees with Stephanie or with Lenny and Riley rather? Will I have to make it a tiebreaker that I have to choose? I'm gonna give it 5 seconds and then I'm clicking on higher because that's the one that's winning. If I had access to Bots' channel, I could have just made this a poll and just see what people are voting for. But it doesn't want to make me a mod. Till today, I'm still waiting for my moderation. But it's okay. Okay, I guess now people we're going with higher again. Although I did say higher too, to be fair. Everything I was saying made sense. It made sense. Alrighty, I'm sure you get the game by now. Does Rodrigo Mora have a higher or lower valuation? Now, this is an interesting one because both of these teams, if they're gonna sell their players, are gonna try to sell them at a very high, especially these ones. These ones are a selling club. That's their whole deal. The problem with this one I have is that I don't really watch Porto, so I don't know if this man adds value and how much value he adds to his team. But if Pau has a market value of 80, I am going to say lower to this one. But I need to see what the chat is saying. I think it's lower. Could be wrong. In which case, you see the score says 2. We play again. Simple. So we've got 1 lower. Ooh, 2 highers. Okay. Can we get a new participant? Maybe, please. Otherwise, Riley, sorry. People have chosen higher. If this is higher, and it can be because Porto is a selling club, but let's see. I was right. Ooh, right. Riley, were you Googling there? Because sometimes I don't trust you. I don't. Sorry, guys. This is all we're getting. This is all we're getting for our guesses. We're getting 10 euros. But let's try again. Mind you, this was the easy mode, eh? See? I don't know what difficulty higher mode looks like. But anyway. Let's try this again, people. Does Matoma have a higher or lower market value than Levi Colwell? Now, let's think about this, people. Brighton, another selling club. Another one. Matoma, pivotal. Very good player for them. This is not surprising because Chelsea does this. It's their bread and butter. They are the Italian job of the league. But a part of me thinks this is higher. Oh, and Riley straight away agrees with me. I think Matoma has a higher market value. I wonder how accurate these valuations are of these players from transfer market. People in the chat can tell us. Or if you're watching this after the fact. Okay, so we've got 2 for higher. I'm sure Lenny's still trying to decide. Maybe he's also doing the same type of reasoning I do. Well, we get a consensus. We haven't had that. We haven't had 3 of the guesses actually agree. Let us see. Lenny says lower. I'm going to give it another 5 seconds just to see if anybody else listening will try to jump in with a different answer. Is anybody going to disagree with Lenny or help him and agree? Then it's up to me with the tiebreaker. There's 7 people watching. This is nice, guys. To be honest, when I click live, I thought there was going to be maybe 2 people. So to the 7 people that are here or the 5 people, appreciate you guys. All right. Ooh, Lenny changed his mind. Everybody's saying higher. Okay. Lenny should have stuck to his gut. He should have stuck to his gut. Shout out to my boy Wrap Up in the building. Says, yo, Vegeta, I will know if we're back by how the team deals with setbacks. Do you know how I know we'll be back, bro? If we can have, and not just a positive what is it, goal difference? It double digits goal difference. When last? When we're not just beating our rivals and the top 6, but we are also doing the right thing against the lower teams. Because here's the reality of life, guys, and this is a funny reality. Sorry, just to take a pause here, because we've lost. We'll go back. If you, more often than often, if you win all your games or most of your games against anybody lower than 4th, then you're doing a title charge and you're going to see yourself in top 4. But I think we've been so fixated with the rivalries that we're busy getting beaten down there. And then we don't even focus on the right things. That's what I'm saying. Man United priorities, but hey, buddy, it is what it is. Lenny, I know, man. Maybe also I gave you too much time to change your mind. You know what? From now on, people, we're going to go instinctual. So I'm going to do 2 more games. Is that fair? Because we are reaching the hour mark, and like I said, I can't be here for a long time for the facts that I stated earlier on, and I don't want to depress anybody again. Back-to-back wins is a start, broski. I'm telling you, bro. When we can see, when you open the league thing on Google, if we can see green, then I know we are doing something serious. But last season it was win here, draw here, lose there. It's like we were doing YMCA. We didn't know where we were going last year. It was so boring. But anyway, enough with the yappa. Let's continue. Does Alexandra Pavlovich have a higher or lower market value than Gregor Kobel? I hope I said their names right. God have mercy. Exactly, bro. We shouldn't let the rivalries help us to get distracted. If it's mission 2020, what did they say? 2028. We need to learn how to make Old Trafford a fortress and deal with other teams when we go away. That's it. That's the recipe. Alrighty, guys. I see we've got a first guess. We say Lenny saying higher. You know what? I think this Pavlovic guy is also higher than this. Because this is what? This is a goalkeeper. I think it's higher, guys. I think it's higher. What do you guys think? Does the Bayern guy cost less than the Dortmund guy, or does the Dortmund guy cost less? I think me and Lenny are on this one. And I want to give you guys 5 seconds, so you must decide quickly. Haha, because I don't want Lenny to be peer pressured again. Please, you just let me know, then I'll press. Going once, going twice. Is he related to Pev? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows, Stephanie? Sold. See, Lenny, this is why I say you must trust your gut. You were right. Now, is Alex what's this Guardiola? This is higher, guys. Let's be honest. Guardiola is more valuable than this guy. Is it Guardiola or Guardiola? I don't know. European names are also hard to say, but I reckon it's higher still. I think he's a very, very important player for these guys now. He's starting to show his value. This season's gonna be fun. This season's gonna be fun, guys. I think so. It might not be fun for some people, but yeah. Stephanie, I see you. Lenny, I see you higher. Where's Riley? Did Riley go to bed already? Yeah. Hey, Riley, stop Googling there. You don't want to answer anymore. All right. No, going once. We don't want people to change their mind. Going twice. Sold. That one. Come on. We knew that one, guys. We knew that one. You know what? I think Caicedo's valuation has dropped a little bit. Because he was worth 100 million when a season or two ago. Surely he must be worth like a light 55 or 60 now. Just based on how Chelsea are performing. But then this is Chelsea. They just told us that Nicholas Jackson is worth 100. Even though we didn't believe it, we said no, crazy. But you know what? I've got okay. Lenny says higher. Let me see if Stephanie will agree or not. Stephanie, what do you think? Higher or lower? What does your gut say? Stephanie says Riley's Google goggles are broken. Riley, you don't need Google, man. Come guess, man. Ooh. Okay. We're saying higher. Say less. Say the less. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Ooh. It did go down, to be fair. I was right. It just didn't go down as much as I thought it did. Come on. This has to be lower. Who is this guy? Maybe it's my ignorance is the one that's defeating me here. Santiago Castro. Mara, guys. This guy can't be more than 90. There's no ways. Who's this guy? Santiago Castro. There's no way. It's lower, guys. Help me out here, guys. Okay. Lenny saying it's lower. Yeah. I agree with you. Thank you. You see, Stephanie, same WhatsApp group as me. Going once, good people. Going twice, sold. Yo, way lower. Like the higher. Higher. There is no way Kimmich is worth less than 35. Because if transfer market wants to tell me that Kimmich is less than this, me, I'm buying him. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad we are on the same wavelength. I wonder what his wage is. Because even if this is cheap, his wage might be a little bit crazy, né? But anyway, Mohamed Amora, is he higher or lower than Kimmich? Now this might be a bit tough because this is not low, but it's not high. I reckon he's a 50 million. euro. Sorry, I almost said pound. Oh, Stephanie says lower. Okay, okay, okay. Maybe I'm the foolish one. But somehow I feel like it almost feels like the system is trying to trick me. That's why I feel in my gut, in my gut. It feels like the system. Hey, but you know what? I've been outvoted. Lower it is. And you guys were right. You guys know your football. Premier League text tells me this is higher. Anthony Gordon. Anthony. What are we saying about Anthony? Wait, how many score? What's our score right now? 6. Let's try and get to 10, guys. But I think it's higher with Anthony Gordon. Anthony. Huh. Well, it's not as much as I thought. Ben White. Ooh. But who's buying Ben White for more than 65? Hey, but also Arsenal is like us. They don't know what to sell. Let's be honest. I think this guy is 40 million, maybe. 40, 45. Lower. The system thinks it's smart. No, this is lower. It's lower. This guy is definitely lower in valuation than Anthony Gordon. I'm glad. Yo, we're on the same WhatsApp group. Thank you, guys. Yo. Thank you. There's no. You see, 45. Dead on. Alexandra Bogi. What? I don't know how to say that surname, my bro. Ooh. So there's Premier League text and there's English text already applied to this 45. Ooh, I don't know who this is. I'm gonna depend on you guys. I have no idea who this is. And we're 2 away. We are 2 away, guys. I repeat, we are 2 away from 10. Oh, and we've got a tiebreaker now. I must decide. Yo. Somebody in the chat, please help me. Because Lenny says lower and Stephanie says higher. Is this Alexandro guy valued more or less? That's what the question is here. In case you're wondering, what are we actually trying to determine? Just please. Going once. Going twice. Ooh. You know what? I'm with Lenny. And if I'm wrong, Stephanie, my bad. But somehow I feel like Lenny knows something. Only an Arsenal player can be valued less. We tried. Oof. Okay, we tried though. 8. We tried. I think that's decent. Guys, do we want redemption or am I ending the stream? Is this going to be remained unsolved until the next happy hour? Like an episode that's just dragging out. You see these obscure names? It's the ones that get you. One more time. I'm hoping somebody will say that. One more time. It's a good score, though. I think we can retire on 8 and we walk away with 50K. I think that's respectable. I think we can leave it there for now, people. Yeah. We can leave it there. Look, guys, it's not the best. I won't say it's the best Friday happy hour. Yo, that's a mouthful. But I'm glad we did this. Thank you guys for joining me. Why is my head being cropped off like this now? What's going on? Let's see here. No. Yes, there we go. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me. Obviously, I hope you guys enjoyed trying to guess who's more expensive than who. Don't forget to remind Newcastle fans, we're not your rivals. The sooner you understand that, the happier you'll be. Just leave us alone. Man United, just break laws, man. Deal with it later, bro. But shout out to everybody. You guys have a good weekend. God bless all of you, Doctor. Happy birthday once again. We hope you are in bed. Okay, we hope you're in bed. But enjoy your birthday tomorrow. And before we know it, guys, it'll be Monday. So please, for me, enjoy it. I've been your host, Vegeta, signing out, people. Cheers.
Football Power Hour.